So when I got into photography, I didn't realize that I was going to spend as much money as I have. Probably spent more than I would like to look at. I've never sat down and thought about it. I don't want to think about it. Photography can get expensive pretty quickly. So today, my goal is to sit down and put together a beginner kit or a beginner setup for under $2,000. So knowing what I know now and with a little bit of experience, I think I may be able to put together a decent beginner kit that you can grow into. One of the bad things about maybe not buying enough camera is that you'll outgrow it within 3 or 4 months, and then you're like, great, I just bought this camera, I gotta go buy another one. So my goal is to put together a kit that you can grow into really for the first couple of years and get a lot of value out of that. So that's the goal. I'm gonna see if I can put together a beginner photography kit for under $2,000. I don't know if I can do it, but we're gonna give it a try. I'm gonna be like so tempted to just blow everything on the camera body. I don't know how this is gonna work. When you start to understand and learn about photography, you're gonna see a camera body and go, oh, but it doesn't have this and it doesn't have that. But I have to remember, this is for like learning and growing into photography, not like, I don't know, maybe later I'll do another video of like if money were no object setup or something. I don't know. But anyways, let's start putting together our beginner photography kit. So let's get this party started. I am an admitted Sony fanboy. I love Sony products and Sony cameras, and they're just my favorite. It's what I use. So I decided that the gear that I'm going to choose is all going to be Sony gear. Now you can find great gear from Canon or Nikon or whoever, the other camera brands, but I am much more well versed in Sony products. So I decided my build is going to focus more on the Sony products and things that I am familiar with. So first up, camera body. Now, when I chose the camera body, my thought process was I want to make sure that I get a camera body that is more beginner oriented, but it's not such a lower quality camera that you would outgrow it in 2 or 3 months. If you buy too inexpensive or cheap of a camera, once you start getting the hang of photography and getting into it, you're going to quickly outgrow it and want something better. My thought process is, okay, realistically, I want something that I can use at least for a couple of years, if not more, while I learn. That way you're not dropping more money in 4 or 5 months when you want to upgrade. So the camera body that I selected is the Sony a6400. Now the reason I chose this one and not the Sony a6000 is because the a6400 is reasonably priced, but still a great camera body. You can get some really great quality images and video from this camera body. One of my favorite YouTubers that I like to watch is a channel called That Icelandic Guy. He used a Sony a6400 for years before he just recently, I think maybe in the last few months, stepped up to the Sony a7 IV. But he used an a6400 for years, and he is light years better than I am at photography. His work is insane. He's a fantastic photographer, and he used the a6400 for a long time, and his quality photos are awesome. It also does video really well, so if you want to get into the YouTube side of things or taking video, it's just a great all-around competitively priced camera body. The price that I found, it's usually for around $1,000, but I did find one on Amazon for $887. You can probably find one used for maybe around $600, so it'd be a great option or idea if you're trying to keep costs low. So moving right along to lenses, arguably just as important of a decision you're going to make with the camera body is going to be your lens. The lens that I chose is the Sony 18-105 f4. I'm a big fan of the f2.8 zoom lenses, but those are expensive. You can get the f4 variants of these lenses and they're like half the cost. And if you are just dipping into photography, f4 is plenty for what you need. So definitely this lens. The reason I chose the 18-105 zoom is because you're getting all of the most common, most popular, most used, arguably, focal lenses in photography. You're getting the 35mm, you're getting the 50, you're getting the 85, and you're getting the 105. So that's 4 focal ranges right there that are very commonly used. You can use all 4 of those as you're learning and figure out the depths that each one provides, all those things. It's just a no-brainer to me as a beginner lens. You're going to be able to learn so many different styles of photography with these focal ranges. With a constant aperture of f4, no question, this is my beginner first lens that I would buy. I did find it priced on his Amazon for $648. So I'm already getting dangerously close to my limit of $2,000. So next up, you're going to also want to get an ND filter at some point. I'm going to add that into the beginner build, because if you're out shooting in maybe some harsher light, or you want to really keep that aperture open, an ND filter allows you to block some of that light coming in so you can keep a wider aperture, create that depth of field. I went ahead and added it in there as something that I would probably get as a beginner. The one that I chose is a whopping $15 on Amazon. This one actually came with my Sigma lens when I bought it, and I use it all the time. And I actually kind of like it. Ultimax is the brand, which I'm sure is some knockoff brand. If it's not, I'm sorry. Please don't get mad at me. But it came with my Sigma lens, and I use it all the time, and it works pretty well. I mean, is it top of the line? No. But for $15, the only way you're going to beat that is if you take a pair of sunglasses and hold it up to your lens for an ND filter. Don't do that. I'm going with this one all day long. I found it on Amazon for $15. That's the ND filter. Definitely grab that as well. Now, let's say you also want to get into like some YouTube stuff and you want to do some video work. You're going to need an external mic. The one that I would recommend is the Rode VideoMic Go. The reason why is because the Gen 1s are $60. They're small. They do not run on a battery, which means you don't have to worry about charging a battery, and they plug right into your camera, and they actually give surprisingly great audio quality. That way, you're getting something more than just the mic on your camera, which always sounds like crap. So for your video work, it's going to just be that much better in production value. So if you're going to get a mic, get this one for $60. You can get a Gen 2 for $100, but get a Gen 1. They're awesome. So now we've got our camera body, our lens, our ND filter, and we've got a microphone if we want to do some video. You're going to need something to edit your photos on. Now, I'm a Mac person. You can edit on PC, but if this were my purchasing decision, I would buy something from Apple. I would buy a Mac, so that's why I'm going to pick one of the Macs. You can probably find something less expensive on the PC side. I'm a Mac person. I'm a little bougie. So the Mac that I chose is the base MacBook Air M1 chip. They just recently came out with the M2s, but if you're just strictly doing Lightroom and light photo editing, beginner photo editing, an M1 MacBook Air is going to be plenty for you to, sink your teeth into, get good at it. You're not going to have any issues with Lightroom. I've read and seen that they handle photo editing fine, or they handle video editing fine. Macs are so optimized with the RAM and everything that just getting the base model is probably going to be plenty just for photo editing. So the base model MacBook Air M1 chip comes in at $999. That's my beginner build. Let's add it up and let's see where we're at, okay? Drum roll, please. We are at a total of $2,609. That is excluding taxes and fees. So I did not stay under $2,000 as my budget. But what I am getting is a great setup that I can use for at least 2, 3, 4 years. Knowing what I know now about photography, I would be comfortable using that setup, for quite some time. I mean, that's a really solid beginner setup. You're not going to be dying to upgrade immediately. Yeah, I went a little over budget, but that would be my build. That would be my setup. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you have any other ideas about budget setups or beginner setups, comments, let me know what you guys started on. I started on a Canon G7X Mark II. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe. I would really appreciate it. I love all you guys that have already subscribed. If you're not, what are you doing? Subscribe. Yeah, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.